Today we're going to review how to solve literal equations. A literal equation is an equation that involves more than one variable. We've already looked at several examples, but let's continue to look at many more examples to ensure you understand this topic. So, the best way to review is just to continue working on examples. So, here's an example. What I would like you to do is write this example down, try to solve it yourself, pause the video, and then come back to the video to see if you've solved it correctly. What I am going to do is just continue to talk and solve each example. So here the equation is saying ax plus by equals c, and it tells us to solve for y. Well, I see y's here, and we need to solve for it. Just like any variable, or excuse me, any equation, you want to get, handwriting, sorry, you want to get the variable by itself. So we're going to start by removing everything on that side with the variable we're solving for, and it cancels out. Don't forget it's negative, and I'm just bringing everything down like I would with a regular equation. Y is still not by itself. I noticed that it has this b here, and the operation is multiplication. So I'm going to divide everything by b because the opposite of multiplication is division. And now I have solved my literal equation for y. Check your answers to see if you got what I did, and compare and make notes if you need to for us to go over it together. Let's look at the next example. Again, pause the video, try to solve it yourself, come back, review, and see if you get what I get. So this equation wants us to solve for x. mx plus b equals y. Well, I know I need to get y on the side by, or the mx on the side by itself. So I'm getting rid of b first, cancel it out. I'm left with mx equals negative b plus y. Be careful with your signs. And then I am dividing everything by m. So x equals negative b divided by m plus y divided by m. Continuing on to the next example. Ax plus ay equals 5, and it wants us to solve for the variable a. Well, I notice immediately that there's an a in both terms. So I am going to undistribute to get a by itself. Now I have a times the sum of x plus y equals 5. And I want to get a by itself. So the opposite of multiplication is division. And I get a equals 5 divided by x plus y. Don't forget, you should be comparing my solution to what you got and making notes. So if we need to go over any, we can. All right, let's do another example here. Wants us to solve for c, and I see c here. So I need to go ahead and get x to the other side, canceling out. I'm left with negative yc equals negative x plus v. C is not by itself yet, so I need to divide everything by negative y. And I'm left with positive x divided by y, because again, two negatives cancel out, make a positive, minus v divided by y. And the reason I got minus or negative is because a positive divided by a negative is negative. Last example before you try on your own. 5p plus 3 equals 3h, and it solves for p. All right, so let's move that 3 over to get the p on a side by itself. Keep in mind, I cannot combine that negative 3 with the 3h. They are not like terms. Now, I just divide everything by 5. P equals negative 3/5 plus 3/5 h. Please do not start dividing and giving me decimals. Leave it as a fraction. It is okay to have fractions and equations. This concludes the summary review on literal equations. At this time, you are going to complete an assignment where you will continue to review literal equations. Make notes if you need to so we can go over them together, but this should be a good, thorough example for you. Thanks for watching. Get started with your next assignment.